Have you ever stopped to think that life could be much more than just a simple existence? I remember a time when I was so caught up in my routine that I didn't even notice the world around me. Until one day, during a walk in the park, I stopped to observe a tree. It seemed silly, but in that moment, I realized I had never truly seen that tree before. It was as if I had woken up from a deep sleep. What if I told you that this dimension we live in is like a great school, where every experience is a lesson to help us discover who we really are? In my opinion, life is a wise teacher, but we're often so distracted that we miss the lessons. Get ready for a journey of self-discovery that could change the way you see yourself and the world around you. The journey of self-discovery. Imagine that you are a student in a cosmic school where the curriculum is your own life. I have a friend who always complained about her job until one day she realized that the difficult situation was teaching her to be more patient and resilient. She told me, "I thought I was stuck, but I was actually learning to fly." Often, we get lost in the expectations of others or the pressures of society. But the real journey is to look within and find the essence of our being. I believe that when we stop trying to please everyone, we start truly living. And that's what we're going to explore together today. The power of the here and now. The first lesson of this school is awareness. I used to live on autopilot, always worried about the future or dwelling on the past. Until one day, during a meditation, I realized that my mind was full of thoughts, but my body was there, in the present. It was a shock to realize how I was missing life while trying to control it. When you start practicing mindfulness, you realize that many of your worries and fears are created by the mind. In my experience, when you focus on the present, problems seem smaller and solutions clearer. The art of acceptance. Another important lesson is acceptance. I remember a phase in my life when I fought against everything: traffic, the weather, even myself. One day, after a big frustration, I simply stopped fighting. And you know what happened? I felt lighter. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up, but understanding that every experience, good or bad, has a purpose in your path of self-discovery. I think that when we accept what we can't change, we make room for what really matters. Connections that transform. The School of Life also teaches us about connection. I have a friend who was always very closed off until he fell in love. He told me that, for the first time, he felt truly seen and understood. That relationship was a mirror that showed him parts of himself he didn't even know existed. When you understand that we are all interconnected, you realize that every interaction is an opportunity to learn more about yourself and others. I believe that relationships are like bridges to self-awareness. The magic of gratitude. Gratitude is another powerful lesson. I used to complain about everything until I started practicing gratitude. One day, I wrote down 3 things I was grateful for: my family, my health, and the sun shining that day. It seemed small, but that simple list instantly changed my mood. When you practice gratitude, even for the little things, you change your perspective and attract more positivity into your life. I think gratitude is like a magnet for good things. Facing your fears. Head on, the School of Life also challenges us to face our fears. I was afraid of public speaking, but one day I signed up for a lecture. At first, my hands were shaking, but as I spoke, I realized that fear was just a barrier I had created myself. Every fear overcome is a lesson that strengthens us and brings us closer to our true essence. I believe that fear is like a door. On the other side is growth. The relief of forgiveness. Another important lesson is forgiveness. I held grudges for years until I realized it was only hurting me. One day, I decided to forgive someone who had hurt me, and it was like lifting a weight off my shoulders. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, but choosing to move forward without carrying grudges that hinder your progress. I think forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. Self-love, the foundation of everything. The School of Life also teaches us about self-love. I was always very critical of myself until one day I realized I didn't treat anyone as badly as I treated myself. It was a shock, but also a turning point. When you love yourself, you recognize your worth and start living according to your true essence. I believe that self-love is the foundation for all other forms of love, discovering who you really are. Finally, the most important lesson is that you are much more than you think you are. I remember a moment when I felt lost, not knowing what my purpose was. It was only when I stopped trying to fit into expectations that I discovered my true passion. This dimension is a school, and you are the protagonist of your own story of self-discovery. So, embrace each lesson with courage and gratitude. So, what did you think of this journey through the School of Life? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with someone who also needs to hear this. Take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, because there's so much more amazing content coming your way. Remember, every like, comment, and subscription helps spread these messages to more people. So, let's go together on this journey of self-discovery and growth. See you in the next video.